Am I the jerk for telling a parent I couldn't see over their child? At the time, I, a 17-year-old female, went to a concert with my boyfriend, a 19-year-old male. I had saved up to buy us these tickets for his birthday. We waited 8 months and drove to another state to attend. By the time we got to our seats, a family arrived and sat in the seats in front of us. The family consisted of a woman probably in her 40s, 2 daughters, one likely about 16 and the other 12 or 13, and what I assumed was the father. We had problems with them from the beginning. They were taking very obnoxious selfies where I was in the photo more than they were. I pointed it out to my boyfriend, and he politely asked if they could try to be more mindful while taking photos. The father then turned around and with lots of attitude said, "I guess." The mother proceeded to say, "I didn't know you guys were like that," also with lots of attitude. They continued to take photos this way. They also got into a bit of an altercation with 3 girls because they were sitting in their seats. 5 of them came to this concert but only got 4 seats. When the headliner came out, she let her 12 or 13-year-old daughter stand on the chair in front of me. I am not a tall person, only 5 feet 2 inches, and was already having a hard time seeing. I did not mind as my boyfriend could see. The daughter was my height, so I could not even see the screen. I would not have minded if it was for a minute or two, but it was easy to tell she was planning on staying there. As the headliner began to play, I tapped on the mother's shoulder and politely said, "I am so sorry, but I cannot see anything with your daughter standing on the chair." She turned around and said, "Deal with it. It's her birthday." In defeat, I backed off and decided I was not going to bother her anymore. As long as my boyfriend could see, I was happy, although a little sad because this was both of our favorite artists. The daughter apparently heard this altercation and proceeded to sit in her chair and pout. The mother then turned around and began to scream at me, saying, "Thanks for making her feel bad. You're a terrible person." This set my boyfriend off, and he proceeded to scream at her until she sat down and began to pout as well. She then stood up and tried to yell at me again, setting my boyfriend right off, screaming at her even more to leave me alone. At this point, we were getting looks from others, and I wondered if I was in the wrong. My boyfriend reassured me and I began to have fun. The mother then saw me recording and started putting her hands up to block my phone and flipping her hair in my face. My boyfriend took my phone to record for me because he was a lot taller than her, and she could not block his view. This went on for a few songs until she finally backed off. I kept receiving dirty looks from the father. By the end of the concert, some girls came up to me and said they were glad my boyfriend yelled at her and that I did not do anything wrong. You did the right thing. Between the high ticket prices, ridiculous fees, and inconsiderate people, going to concerts is just not as fun as it used to be. It's a tough world for short people trying to enjoy a show. Next time, let the venue's security or usher know. Am I the jerk for telling my mom that my brother's wife is ruining our family trip? My big brother, his wife, family, aunts, uncles, and I all came to visit my mom for her birthday. We took time off and gathered for a week and a half, which was rare since we hadn't all been together in about 20 years. However, my brother's wife is getting on my nerves. She doesn't seem to enjoy being around us. When we make plans, she leaves hours before and returns late, making us wait and ruining the schedule. For example, yesterday, my younger brother, who lives here, took a day off to take us all swimming at 10:30 a.m. Everyone was ready except my brother's wife. She knew we were leaving at 10:30 but said she'd be back quickly. By 1:30 p.m., she still wasn't back. I was upset we had to wait. I asked my mom why she couldn't meet us there, but she said it would make my brother feel bad, and they'd probably fight. So, we waited. My brother, who planned the day, and I were both upset because it was getting late, and the drive was long. She finally arrived at 2 p.m., and we had to change plans because the lake would close at 6 p.m., leaving us with little time. We ended up hanging out at a less than ideal park because there weren't any dog-friendly swimming areas nearby. My younger brother said if we were late the next day, he'd rather stay home. I agreed, and so did everyone else, but we couldn't say it in front of my sister-in-law. Today we had plans for 4 p.m. as soon as my younger brother got off work. However, my sister-in-law is out again with her children and will be late as usual. I couldn't handle it anymore and expressed my frustration to my mom and some family members. We came from far for a rare trip where we could finally be together, and some of us aren't getting paid to be away. I don't get to see my family often and don't want my younger brother to feel excluded because he's fed up with making plans we're always late for. My mom said, "What do you want me to do?" I can't control her. I acknowledged that, but pointed out she could have reminded her about our plans. My mom wants us to wait for my sister-in-law so she doesn't feel bad, but she doesn't seem to care about the rest of us wasting our vacation time. I told her I'd likely change my flight to leave early, like tomorrow, because I'm too angry to hide it. I know it isn't my mom's fault, and I feel bad for her since it's her birthday month, but no one seems to be having a good time just sitting at home or unable to explore the city like we wanted. I'm sick of my brother's wife, and I'm currently in my room crying because I don't want to be around them anymore. My younger brother is at work and asked me to make sure everyone would be ready, but I feel bad updating him that we're going to be late again waiting on our sister-in-law. He's not going to want to come anymore, and I miss seeing all my brothers. I don't want one of them to stay home because of her, but I'm so angry right now. I'd rather stay in my room than say something and create drama. Why are you waiting around and accommodating someone who doesn't want to spend time with you? Stop pampering her and do what you plan to do. You are in charge of your own trip. Your mom claiming she cannot control her daughter-in-law but accepting that the daughter-in-law can actually control everybody else is so ironic. This is so straightforward that it's amazing how much leniency is being extended to someone clearly disrespectful and uninterested in any of you. Am I the jerk for telling my partner I did not want their mother to stay with us? Hide. Aita. My boyfriend and I are both 20 years old and we have been dating for 2 years. In the next few weeks, we are moving out of my parents' house into our first apartment, which is about 4 hours away. I am a college student, and he mainly works blue-collar jobs. He found a great office job in our city, and he is excited to be out of the weather. In fact, we are both really excited. In the past few weeks, we have begun to collect furniture, decorations, and other household necessities. We have also been seeing family and friends who we might not get a chance to see very often after we move. I have invited both his mother and father out to dinner separately because they are divorced. We agreed on dates that worked. Last Sunday, when his mother and we were supposed to have dinner, she canceled and instead spent the day with her friends before rescheduling for the next day. My boyfriend was upset by this. He and his mother have a rocky relationship, and he often feels that she is never really there for him and cares more for her stepchildren than him. So, he did not want to attend dinner and instead told her that the next day would not work and never tried to go see her after. I stayed out of it. His mom is his business, and I do not feel that it is my place to insert an opinion, especially when I am not very close with her. It has been a few days, and my boyfriend just informed me that he spoke with his mom, and she is now wanting to help move us in. I said that is completely fine. The more help, the better. However, he then mentioned she is going to be staying with us for the next 3 days after. I told him that he is welcome to tell her whatever he would like, but that I did not really want her to stay in the apartment with us that first week. She is welcome to come another time that might not be so busy. He agreed but said that he did not want to tell her no, because he is afraid that she will never try to come see us again. I start the semester the day after we move in, and have a pretty busy week ahead of me with school and clubs. My boyfriend was supposed to attend job training in Minnesota, which he is now putting off until the next week. We are living in a one-bedroom apartment that is only about 500 square feet. I know that the week after the move is going to be stressful, and having another person staying with us is only going to add to that. His mother has also made no effort to be in his life in the time I have known him, but now she wants us to adapt to this inconvenience. However, a part of me is worried that I am inhibiting my boyfriend and his mother's relationship, and any small semblance of relationship I have with her. I do not know what to do or how to approach this topic with my boyfriend in a way that will not hurt his feelings. This conversation definitely needs to be had. It's not even a logical request when you think about the facts of just moving into a new apartment with one bedroom and scheduled plans. Your feelings are reasonable, but if their fragile relationship gets worse because of the decision, you might regret refusing. Suggest that she stay in a hotel and come over to help unpack if she really wants to spend time with both of you. Am I the jerk for not forcing my sister to treat all of her nieces and nephews equally when she clearly won't even if I try? I am a 42-year-old female who has a sister, a 37-year-old female who has always been somewhat distant from the family. She is very career-focused, does not like children, and has never really connected with any of her nieces or nephews, except for my oldest son, an 18-year-old male. When my son was younger, he somehow managed to crack her shell. He was the only child she ever took a liking to, and over the years, she has grown to absolutely adore him. She spoils him with expensive gifts, takes him on trips, and constantly checks in on him. Whenever she reaches out to me, she asks about the whole family, but it is clear her main concern is my oldest son. She will inquire about my other 2 children, a 16-year-old male and a 14-year-old female, but the attention she gives them is nothing compared to what she showers on their older brother. When my sister visits, she does bring gifts for my other children, but they are usually modest compared to what she gives my oldest son. She tends to keep the extravagant gifts for when she is alone with him, so the other children do not always see what he gets. However, when my son comes back home with these high-end gifts, the family definitely notices. It is not subtle, and it is starting to create some tension. My younger children have started feeling a bit jealous, wondering why they do not get the same level of attention and generosity. They have asked why their brother receives such extravagant gifts, and it has been tough for me to explain, especially since my sister does not seem interested in changing her behavior. Some family members have suggested that I should press my sister to be more fair with all her nieces and nephews, not just my children. They feel that if I insist, she might change her ways. However, I have tried talking to my sister about being more equitable, but her response has been blunt. She told me that she did not choose to have nephews and nieces, and that it is not her responsibility to be fair. She sees her relationship with my oldest son as something special and separate from the rest of the family, and she is not interested in changing that. The thing is, my son is 18, a legal adult, and I do not have any control over how my sister spends her money or who she chooses to spoil. I also cannot tell my son not to accept her gifts. That is his choice. They have a unique bond, and while I understand why my younger children feel a bit jealous, there is not much I can do about it. It's clear that this situation is difficult for everyone involved. The oldest has a special bond with his aunt, which benefits him, and it's important to recognize that this doesn't necessarily harm his siblings. Life isn't always fair, and it's a good lesson for the younger ones to learn. Ultimately, the focus should be on maintaining a loving and supportive relationship with all the kids and celebrating their individual strengths. Am I the jerk if I don't inform my friends about my departure to another country? I am a 23-year-old female, and I have 2 high school friends. Let's call them G, a 23-year-old female, and H, a 26-year-old female. We have been close friends since then. After high school, I could not continue my studies, and G went to nursing college. H also didn't continue her studies. We do meet up every now and then, though it has been a few months since we last met. G recently graduated, and we were excited about it. H and I planned to attend her graduation together, but we didn't know the date. 2 months before her graduation, I started working as a receptionist and was busy. I had informed my colleague that if her graduation fell on their day off, we could exchange days off, and they accepted. Right after her finals, G informed me that I had to attend her graduation as it was an important day for her, which I gladly accepted. I had planned with H to attend her graduation all along. She called me 2 days before her graduation. I was offline and didn't see the notification until the next day at work, so I forgot to call her back. It was not until I saw a post about her graduation from her classmates on Facebook that I realized her graduation had passed. I checked her profile and saw some pictures of the graduation. Most of the pictures were with her classmates and I didn't see Aita, so I thought she didn't invite anyone. Her family was not there either. I congratulated her and asked why she didn't inform me. She said she called me and I didn't pick up. I didn't know how to reply at that moment, so I just replied, "Oh," and left it at that. In my country, our government sends youths to other countries to work as long as they are 21 years old and above. It's optional to go or stay in the country. I applied to every job given on the website and got an unexpected message for an interview on WhatsApp. I thought it was a scam, but wanted to see if I could get it. I did the interview and not even 2 weeks later, I got my visa. I am waiting for a flight ticket as it's provided by the company, and the flight ticket might come at any moment. I asked both G and H out to talk about it, but whenever I ask them out, they are always unavailable. I can inform them through a message, but I want to inform them face to face and catch up. They have asked me out, but it always coincides with when I am busy. Am I the bad person if I don't inform them about it? You are the jerk here, OP, if you leave without saying anything at all. It's possible to be friends without sharing every life-changing decision, but close friends? No. Well. More damage has been done by not showing up to your friend's graduation, and that could have been prevented with better communication. Any option is better than just leaving the country without saying a word. Am I the jerk for being mad my friend didn't pick us up? A friend of mine moved to another country with her partner 6 years ago. I considered her a good friend, though I have not seen her in years. We were pregnant around the same time, so we chatted often about pregnancy and compared experiences of pregnancy, birth, and parenting between the United States and the country she lived in. A week ago, she messaged our friend group that she would be in town along with her partner and daughter to visit for a month. I was very excited to catch up with my old friend and finally meet her daughter. My husband and I were already planning on taking a trip from Seattle to Portland to visit our family. We decided taking the train would be the best option since we have a toddler, and the ability to get up and walk around is really nice. Driving by car to Portland takes twice the time since our 3-year-old cannot handle sitting for long stretches. We have to pull over a lot along the way for exercise. We were trying to figure out a solution to get to and from the train station. Since we have a toddler, we have to have a car seat. We had a lot of luggage, a stroller, a travel car seat, and our toddler, so public transportation was not an option. I reached out to said friend. I thought it would be the perfect exchange to let her borrow our car while we were gone in exchange for a ride to and from the train station. My friend was very interested in the idea and agreed to the days and times we needed to be dropped off and picked up. I confirmed the times with her over text as well as in person. They also offered to pet and house sit for us. We did not really need help in that area since we already arranged for a pet sitter. However, they mentioned they were staying on a friend's boat while in town. Boat life can be tough with a child. They said they were only able to stay on this boat because the owner only used it to race once a year in the summer. So we agreed to let them stay at our place and use both our cars. Yesterday, I texted our group thread with my friend and her partner that we were on the train home and we would be in touch if we had any delays. Her partner texted me back that they would not be picking us up from the station. He said they would try parking the car nearby and hide the keys somewhere for us. The area the train station is in is not particularly safe at night. It is not somewhere I would want to have my car parked with a key hidden somewhere. It is especially not somewhere I want to be dragging around all our luggage and our toddler through at night while searching for our car and keys. They said the boat they were staying on was set to sail at 7:00 p.m. for the race that night, so they could not pick us up at 8:00 p.m. I checked the race schedule, and the schedule must have been out pretty far in advance, so I have no doubt they already had this commitment before they also committed to picking us up from the station. Am I the bad person for being mad at my friend for putting us in that situation? I think you are not in the wrong here. Your friends absolutely took advantage of you. They completely cleared out your fridge of all the beer and seltzer, which just hits differently after being ditched. They should have let you know the race time beforehand, and it's clear they cannot be trusted. It's worth reevaluating your friendship with them and definitely not offering accommodations again. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.